Hello everybody, this is Jake Albin. I'm a band director in Aledo High School, and this is a little episode that I would like to call Coffee with Albin. As many of you know, especially if you're a student of mine, current or past, you know that I love band directing and I love a cup of coffee while I'm band directing. And the other thing that I love is fishing, and anytime that we can have two of three of your favorite things at any given point in time, you're doing okay in the world. And today I've got coffee, and today I'm talking band. Now, as I'm doing this video, you may hear some chickens in the garage. That's right, I said chickens. That's because we have 3 baby chickens that are right over here, and they are going nuts right now. So please disregard the chicken noises that may happen in the band hall or the garage hall as we are speaking to right now. But I wanted to reach out to former and current students of Aledo High School, or anybody really, and talk about what we're supposed to be doing in this COVID crisis 2020, as everybody is stuck at home and everybody has a lot of time. And this is a wonderful time to get back to the basics and get back to the root of some of the things that you have loved. In this case, I'm talking to instrumentalists, musicians that have come through the band program, either, and it doesn't have to be musicians. It could be anybody. I'm just using music as the immediate outlet to talk about these things, about getting back to the basics of some of the things that you love. Because a lot of times in life, we have something that we love, and we maybe don't do it for a while, and then we get kind of further along in our life, and we feel like we can never get back to it because there's going to be a lot of effort, a lot of think about it like exercise. You get to a certain weight, or you get to a certain point in your life where you're bench pressing 200 pounds, and then you get away from that for a while, and then you go back to it for just a second, and you're only bench pressing 100 pounds, and you're like, gosh, I used to be so good at this, but now I'm not. Maybe I'll just get rid of it altogether and never go back to it. But with just a little training and a little extra time, you can actually get back to that pretty quickly. And one of the things that I would encourage everybody to do is reach out to those private lesson teachers. I think about my friends that are private lesson teachers right now from Aledo High School, and they are stuck at home, and a lot of them are really thinking about, what am I going to do for that next income? I used to perform for churches. Well, that's no longer a thing. I used to perform with the Dallas Opera. Well, that's not a thing right now. And they're stuck at home just like everybody else is, and they are trying to make something happen by creating these virtual studios. And what a great time to give back to these private lesson teachers. And again, if you're a current student at Aledo, man, I would not give up on your private lessons. I would still take those private lessons. It's some FaceTime with one-on-one teacher, or maybe in small group settings, and you get to see somebody, and B, it's some social interaction. That's what we're looking for right now. And you are getting better at an art. You are getting better at your art, even though we're not in school right now. So don't give up on those private lesson teachers. In today's society, we have such wonderful ways to give back to them through Venmo and PayPal and things like that, where you don't actually have to see them to pay them. You can pay them and help support them and help support the economy. And even, I'm just talking about like a musical economy. You can support and help pay them, and they can pay their bills, and they can put food on the table. It's just really important right now that we do that. And former students, I think you can do the same thing. And if you need help, please reach out. I would love to get you in touch with maybe a former private lesson teacher, or somebody that has some extra time right now. And if you were looking to get back to your trombone, and it's been 20 years since you played it, and I could put you in touch with somebody that may be able to take you through the basic steps, I think that's a wonderful trade-off. And you may find out that you're really still in love with that instrument, and you really enjoy doing music. So support, I think that's number one right now, support. Secondly, I think we should get back to the basics. I know when I was in college, I was inundated with a lot of music, and that made it hard to maybe spend time on the fundamentals, the basics. And even though I did a lot of basics, one of the things that I really loved doing were like long tone flow studies, scale routines, things like that. And sometimes I had so much music, man. I just had to quick get into that, and then I needed to get into that music because I had a performance maybe in like 2 days. Well, that's fine, but I think what you should really do in this moment is, instead of just worrying about the music that you have, is spend some time to get really good at those basics. Like, there is nothing better for a woodwind player than just a good old-fashioned scale routine that you go through all 12 major scales. And sometimes that can be scary because some of those scales are hard, and you're like, man, I don't have time to do that. Those things are hard. You do have time. You have time right now. Everybody in the world has time right now. So jump into that, knock out those scale routines, and the more you do it, the better you feel about it. You know, day 1 may not be so great, but day 2 will be a little bit better, and day 3 will be a little bit better. And by the time you get to day 7, you're like, man, I'm knocking these out. So I always tried to use summertime for me, was when I had the most amount of time to get back to the basics. And I did a lot of basic practicing and things that I wanted to get better at. So let's say jazz improvisation. Summertime was a big time for me to grab those Hal Leonard books or those Jamie Aebersold CDs and just spend some time shredding on some jazz chords. Because I knew once I got back to school, I wouldn't have as much time to do that, to just sit there for an hour and play with a CD. And so now's the time to do that. And there's lots of really great online information. So for me, like, I've been watching these really great solo transcription things on YouTube. Like, if you just type in Eric Marenthal, saxophone solo, Gordon Goodwin band, all of these saxophone transcription things come up, and you can actually look on the screen, and you can read what Eric Marenthal is playing, not only like the big band notes, like with the music in the big band, but also his solo. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can play with Eric Marenthal with a background track at the same time, and those two measures are hard. Rewind, play it. Rewind, play it. Rewind, play it. And you're playing with the greats at the same time, and that gives you a chance to emulate that sound, emulate the tone quality or the timbre of their sound, emulate all the nuances that Eric plays with. And what a great time to do that, because really nothing else is going on, and you can really get into your instrument, whether it be saxophone or piano or whatever. You can spend some time on that instrument and just enjoy it. Do it for fun and not because you're going to be graded on it. That is an amazing feeling, to get back to what your instrument really is. It's a hobby, it's a love, and for some of you it may become something more. It may become a passion that turns into a professional thing. But right now, just have fun with your instrument. I would also say be supportive to others. Right now, I see a lot of great things on social media, online social media. And I don't see a lot of acting and things like that on social media. I see a lot of music on social media. I see people putting together things in a cappella and sending that out to different people, and then having the videos come back and they put it all together as one. I don't see stand-up comedy. I don't see acting on Facebook. I see a lot of music. I think right now, in terms of entertainment, musicians may be the one group that can possibly reach the most amount of people, and I find that to be very entertaining. And so I want you to be supportive. I want you to be social with it and go ahead and put it out there. And it may be awful the first few times, but it's still entertaining for us. It's still really a lot of fun to see some people put some together, some cool things, and getting better at it. So that's it in general for a little coffee time with Albin, episode 1. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I miss you guys. Get back to your instrument. Get back to the basics. Connect with an old private lesson teacher. Support the art in some sort of way. Be social with it and be creative. Now is the best time to do it. Love you guys. God bless. See you soon. Bye-bye.